Today, for the very first time, we're going to be listening to the brand new album called Zag by Poppy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another album reaction. So we're here for Poppy. So hello, Poppy time is now. What's happening? Today I've got a red Mountain Dew. Whoop-dee-doo.
What you're seeing is the result of how long it took to get that wig on.
Yes. I may speed up the whole process that we just went through and put it at the end of the video as a joke. But I already have something really stupid planned to include at the end of the video. So definitely make sure that you. Oh, it goes this way. Everybody watching, remind me that the bangs go this way.
That's what you thought before.
Well, they do, and it's fine. I just don't like the way it frames my face.
Well, that's fine. I don't know
how Poppy does it, wearing all these different colored wigs all the time.
Hers probably costs more than 75 cents.
That's probably true.
She's coming here live. March.
When you find an artist like that that's coming, do you always look up the artist she's supporting and go to their Spotify or something and just check out what they are like?
No, she's headlining.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. So who does she choose to bring out with her?
Oh, I don't have any idea. A lot of times they don't. I guess I don't know. I haven't looked. The tickets don't go on sale till Saturday, so they might not have that announced yet.
Okay, I do.
But otherwise, no, I don't do that.
Whenever I see a band that I care about is going out on tour, I always make it a point, because most of the time they're not coming to Nebraska, to Omaha, or to Lincoln. And so, but I will look up the two, usually there's at least two supporting acts that are actually going on tour with them. And sometimes if they have smaller shows or one-off shows, they'll have local talent and stuff. But for example, the Birthday Massacre, they're going on tour at the beginning of the year, I think, because I think they have a new album coming out, as I believe, sometime in February or March at the beginning of the year. And their tour starts, and they're going to Kansas, Iowa, Colorado. They got to drive through. They're going from Iowa to Colorado. So what do you think they're going to do, Chris?
They're going to drive all the way through Nebraska.
They're going to drive all the way through Nebraska, not play a show. They haven't played in Nebraska, I think, for over 8 years now. Because I had tickets to see them and Julian Kay in 2020, and then pandemic happened. And so, but their last album, Birthday Massacre we're talking about, their last album was very good, but they had the greatest song they've ever written faded out, and it made me madder than I think any fade out has ever in any song. So, but anyway, hopefully that means their next album will be even better than their last one, and we're talking about some good stuff there. But anyway, on to Poppy. So if you are new to the channel here, thank you for watching. Chris and I both are big fans of Poppy. We've done many videos of them here on the channel. I don't know if maybe we've done enough videos of hers that I could create a playlist that's just Poppy videos. So far, the only band that I have, two bands that have playlists, Nightwish and Metallica.
Interesting.
And we haven't done really enough Nightwish videos, in my opinion, to validate that. However, I want to make it easy for the Nightwish fans because we do get more views on those. Which also, Chris, speaking of that, we should do more Heilung, because the Heilung video has it's quite, I think 3.5 thousand, 3,500-ish. Yeah, which is really good. If you look at, you should go look at our channel, Chris, and actually see the numbers we're doing on some of them, because
I do occasionally especially when YouTube recommends our stuff to me.
Yeah,
I'll see the numbers. It's wow, there's some really impressive stuff on there.
Yeah, you should check it out, because we've been doing actually really good, I think, recently.
That's great,
and that's actually really cool. So I'm very happy with that. I'm proud of that. Oh shoot! Whoops, I did it the wrong way. Dang it! Now I got to edit that out. Shoot! This is not a good start. That's right. I imagine there'll be quite a few swear words on this album. Wow, chaotic
there are
energy.
only 2 songs.
Chaotic
2 explicit
energy.
songs.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'd edit out however much I need to, because I'm going to go through the whole process of editing it out. Anyway, we're going to upload it, and just like the last Poppy album, it will probably be blocked worldwide.
Oh, was it really? Okay. I wondered if you were making that up or not.
No, I had to take the audio out of the Flux, or not, sorry, not Flux. Flux worked.
Zig.
Flux and I Disagree worked. I don't think we ever
see.
actually did I Disagree. We didn't do a reaction to I Disagree. We both listened to that.
No, because it was long ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and but yes, Zig. We had to, and I imagine, and I don't know, maybe this is a new record label. I don't know if this is different or what was different with that, but the whole album got blocked worldwide. So for everyone watching the video, I always try as hard as I can to upload the video with the audio that we're hearing so that you can hear it as well, so that you can listen along with us as we're listening for the first time. And sometimes the artists have their copyright settings such that you absolutely cannot use any of the music in your videos. It seems like you can always do one single song, but you can't do every song on an album for whatever reason, and we made the decision quite a while ago that we like to listen to full albums here. That is one of the things that makes our channel a little bit different and special. And there are other channels that do this online as well, and they just listen to the song and then cut the part where they're listening to the song out. And then they just have like a 40-minute video where they're condensing their whole thoughts and talking about each song after they've listened to it. And we could try to do something like that, Chris, if we ever want to try that. That's what a lot of channels that do full album reactions do. But
So they just cut the song out and then talk
Right.
about it as if they'd listened to it?
Yeah, well, yes. So what they do is they sit just like we do, and they hit play. Usually it's just one person. They hit play, and they listen to maybe they have the first like 10 seconds of the song, and then it just cuts to after the song's ending, and then they just give their thoughts on it.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but I do feel like, I don't know, we should try it sometime with an album and just see how
I mean, we
see
do,
how
we
people
do
feel.
all of our talking mid-song. So.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
It depends.
We would have to change, the way we do it a little bit, but... And the reason Chris said we do that is generally because we try to focus on production stuff a little bit more here. We don't really break down lyrics, so if you're here for that, don't expect that. But anyway, I'll try to include the music as hard as I can, and if I can't, I will have to upload this video without any music in it. So you'll just be sitting there listening to us listen to it, and there may even be some bleed from my headphones, which I recently had be a very frustrating issue for me in the new Linkin Park album reaction that we recorded and uploaded over the weekend. I had to upload the video 5 separate times. I had to go in and edit the audio 5 separate times. And I'm going to do a video here on my channel explaining why Linkin Park is now banned on our channel. And maybe it was because I was feeling a little bit emotional after all the health issues I've been having recently. But it doesn't matter. Like Linkin Park is banned from our channel forever. So if we end up having to talk about them, which I think we will in our top 12 albums of the year video, I will just mention them, and then we will not discuss any further. So no more Linkin Park videos here on the channel. Sorry, KDR. So I'll definitely try to include the audio, but if I can't, in the description of the video, I will include a link so you can listen on Spotify with us. So that's how we're going to be listening to it today. And if you can try to sync it up with us, we count down from every song. I know it's frustrating. I understand that. It is annoying. I get that too, but I think it makes the videos more enjoyable. If not, if you're already very familiar with this album because it's been out for a couple of weeks, maybe you can get through the songs with us. But you can always skip to the end of the song and listen to us talking about each individual song because we pause in between each track and talk about it as well. So you can do that. Or if you want, you can skip to the very end of the video and hear our overall thoughts of the album as well. That's what we kind of deem our review. So skip around to whatever kind of parts you want to hear. Listen to whatever you want to hear. No big deal. And without further ado, Chris, I don't know, is there anything you want to talk about to set this up? I know you've heard part of this, right?
I have heard part of it. I don't want to say anything about it because I want you to go in super blank.
Okay. And I've only heard the one song from this that we did a reaction to, and I don't remember what it was.
I believe it was probably...
Okay, I'm going to look at the album for the first time here.
Maybe the first or the third one.
So have you had enough?
Probably the third one, yeah.
I think They're All Around Us is the one we did.
Yeah.
Which has 3,319,329 plays. Which is great.
It should.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, she has a song called New Way Out that has 8,437,000. Was that her first single for the album?
That's
track
one of the other
13.
singles too.
Okay. Okay, so it looks like this is the first time I'm looking at this album, everybody. We've got the penultimate track is 51 seconds, so I'm assuming that's some sort of like an intro into the final track. Track 4 is called Yesterday, which I'm assuming is a cover of the Beatles song Yesterday. I'm sure that's what it's going to be.
It's only 47 seconds though, so
it'll be really fast. Yesterday,
all my troubles seem so far away. Now it's gone away, although I believe in yesterday.
See, now I can hear the whole song in my head, and I'm like, oh,
That's great.
kind of cool, actually. Like,
I can't do that.
10 masked men. Dude, if anyone watching this video doesn't know who 10 Masked Men is, the band, please.
I've heard of him.
What? You have not heard of 10 Masked Men?
No, sir.
Chris, you know that gif of Rock Hudson? Jimmy Stewart? Who is it? It's not Jimmy Stewart. That Get Out gif of the guy in the suit from It's a Wonderful Life. Get out. Go and get out. It's like my favorite gif to use for anything. It's from It's a Wonderful Life. The guy who stars in It's a Wonderful Life. But... It's in black and white, and it's just a guy in a suit with his hand in his pocket, and he just goes, get out. And the caption under it is just, get out. It's hilarious. I'm doing that to you. Get out. 10 Masked Men is too great for you not to know. 10 Masked Men is a band that only makes like grindcore music, but they only do covers of pop songs.
Great.
And it was something that was popular when we were in high school. Like, I bootlegged all of their albums. They were never released, as far as I'm concerned, anywhere officially or for real. I just recently did a video. I don't think it's been uploaded to the channel yet, with my nephew Hunter going through some of their songs. But yeah, Michael Jackson's "Beat It."
They told you, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in your eyes and the words are really clear. So be it. Don't you wanna be there? Just be it. Be it. Oh, what's the be it? Show us some fucking, show us some fight. It doesn't matter who's alright. Just be it. Just be it.
Britney Spears.
Oh baby, baby, show me how you want it to be. Tell me baby, cause I need to know now. I'll be gone, my loneliness is killing me. And I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Lady Gaga, a lot of songs. And they're all just like literally,
Poker face. No.
it's
That
just,
kind of stuff is like, it's funny, but there's no way I could do a whole album of that.
well, the thing,
What a waste.
you're absolutely right 100%, but the thing is, every song is like a minute and a half short. It's like grindcore thrash, like just ridiculous.
Okay. Well, that
It's so
helps a little
stupid and
bit.
fast. Each album's like 25 minutes. And they are just songs you wouldn't think that they would be. It doesn't matter. It was never released who they were. It's called 10 Masked Men because it's a group of like metal musicians who never wanted to anyone's identity to know who they were.
So they would never put this album out, and I'm supposed to have heard of them?
Well, it was one of those things that was popular like when we were in high school. It was like those internet bootleg things, like an original like internet meme type thing.
Yeah.
And there were videos online at the time, on like the very beginnings of YouTube, of like people who would take the Britney Spears music video and like sync it up to her. Their
Well,
song
yeah.
and stuff. So like maybe, I'm sure you've come across it. Doesn't matter.
Maybe.
Anyway,
That doesn't sound
Poppy's
familiar.
great. It's super hot heavy. I heard that one song, "They're All Around Us," and I was absolutely blown away and very excited for this. Every year, Chris and I, towards the end of the year, starting in October, November, December, we start listening to everything we've been listening to over the year and focusing and trying to create our top 12 albums of the year lists. And we've both been waiting for this album because we were hoping that this album was going to make our lists. So, so it looks like most of these songs are right about 3.5 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song called "The Center's Falling Out" that's 2.5 minutes, followed by a song called "Hey There" that's 1:28. And I'm just gonna make a prediction right now that those two songs are gonna be really stupid. I don't know stupid how, but I think that "Hey There" song is gonna be real crazy. And then we have Negative Spaces, a couple other 3.5 minute long songs. 3:40. So it looks like there's definitely a structuring to the songs of this album. They all are either basically right around 3 minutes or or close to 3:40, between 3:30 and 3:40 about, it looks like. So that's great. Those look like great song lengths. I'm hoping that, and 42 minutes, 15 songs for a Poppy album is enormous. Her last few albums
really
have each been
exciting.
10 tracks, I believe. And I believe I Disagree was 10 tracks as well, until she released I Disagree More with the bonus 4 or 5 songs. Which is definitely the definitive version of that album.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry, everybody. This has been a chaotic start. I apologize. Maybe I'll cut some of that baloney out. Okay, track 1. Have You Had Enough? we haven't even started. So I'm just so pumped for this, Chris. That they're all around us was just heavy as crap in like a really good, like straightforward way. And I'm hoping the rest of the album follows that kind of.
My favorite thing that you do is talk about how excited you are for the songs, and the fact that you're talking about your excitement is delaying you listening to the song.
I know, and I do it every time, and I swear, never once have I ever done it on purpose. To
Never.
be like, I have my hand on the mouse, and I say something, and then I take my hand off the mouse and keep talking. You call me out every time, and I never have done it on purpose.
I know you haven't. You wouldn't dare because you want to hear the song.
Okay, ready.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're getting a little fade in. We got a video on the side here. Spotify.
Drums sound great.
Now, nice high end in there. Really snappy snare. But also with like this nice, almost like...
All the eyes need new ideas. Buying fear to feed their dealers. Can't call it love.
I think I have to turn it down a little.
But have you had enough?
That reminds me a lot of Garbage.
Looking for
Garbage?
an
Yeah.
easy
Interesting. Okay.
answer. Find it in a lazy manner. Know
This is very different vocal style for her.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Hopefully it explodes. Maybe not. Okay, distorted vocals in the chorus.
All of the parts of this that, like, most of this doesn't really sound that much like Poppy, but there's little elements of the chorus where you're like, yep, there she is.
Okay,
And
okay,
I really love finding those little progressions that happen.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That crash cymbal is way on the right side.
Yeah.
And it's
Short.
only on the right side, yeah.
Spirit Box.
Oh yeah. She's never done
Yeah.
those lows like that, I don't think. Oh, cool with the delay there. Whoa. Neat reverse thing there. Have you noticed each chorus, the distortion on her voice went down and the cleanliness of her voice came up?
True.
That's really strange. This is like prototypical metal for right now. This is just what
This
metal
is.
is right now. It is awesome.
Yes.
Stretching the possibilities of what you can do. Okay, what were we gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say.
Okay. I've got lots to say then. Okay, little different than I expected. I expected the album to come out guns blazing, and it wasn't guns
That's
blazing.
not Guns Blazing?
No, not with the verse. You know, like the other
Fair.
track 3 was like heavy pretty much the whole way, maybe with a little
Yeah.
bit. That was more of the stereotypical like the metal sort of that I grew up on, which is heavy verse, sung clean sung chorus, whereas this was clean sung verse, heavier chorus but still sung. But the thing that really stood out to me there was, and I noticed it on the second chorus, I was like, oh, you can really hear her voice more clearly here. But in the
I was thinking that same thing, but I didn't notice it was because the distortion was.
I think so. So like in the first chorus, you really heard that was why I kind of didn't react like oh my God, this is amazing, because for a second I was like, oh no, please don't do the problems that In This Moment has. Don't do that. Don't distort when you're trying to be heavy. Don't use digital distortion after the fact to amp up the heaviness. That doesn't work. It sounds too fake. Which we know Poppy can scream, so it's like she wouldn't need to do that. So, so that was weird during the first chorus, and I was trying to like not be too disappointed. And then the second chorus, that part was still there, but she had a clean vocal on top of it that I don't think was there in the first chorus. And then the third chorus was just clean vocals. So that's really cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
And I didn't notice it as a point of progression. I just remember getting to the second chorus and thinking, the vocals are not lost here. You can still very clearly understand what she's saying despite the distortion. And I think that's got to be part of it. Yep.
And I think if I'm not wrong, the only bad word that was in there was an SH word. So once.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even remember where it was, but
so whatever, it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying like that's not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that was great. I really like that. To me, I've been fighting with myself over a good chunk of this last year about this, but I'm going to save it and bring it up after another song. I don't want to wait too long. So let's get to track 2, and then remind me to bring this up sometime later. I'll talk about it after Crystallized or something. Okay. The cost of giving up in 3, 2, 1. Piano thing in the back, very nice.
Birthday Massacre, maybe?
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I gotta process that. That's an interesting thought. Okay. Can you still hear me when we're talking during the music?
Yep.
Good, I can hear you just fine. That kick drum is great.
Yes, it is. Very good.
All the drums we're hearing are 1000% fake, and it's fine with me. I don't care at all.
Yes.
But I like it.
There's so much Birthday Massacre in this chorus.
There absolutely is. Birthday Massacre have never been this heavy though, right? Like what this is doing now.
As much as it would be nice.
Yeah. I don't think they do detune their guitars that low. The Birthday Massacre have never sounded genty. Her vocals fit nicely into the music.
Yeah, there's a nice little pocket.
She's not really projecting that much here, so that was good. That's good.
But most of what's happening is really low.
Yeah.
Compared to her.
I mean, this could be like a Paramore song.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
You know, this part.
That piano's so nice. It's doing a lot.
Yeah. It's filling the sort of cavernous space behind. Vocals doubled and spread wide.
Lovely glitch.
Yeah. That's straight up Birthday Massacre. With the little dingy dings on the right side.
What about it?
The dingy dings, like the bell, that's Birthday Massacre.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I just hadn't connected Poppy with Birthday Massacre.
Oh, okay.
So.
Buckles everywhere.
If Lights wrote metal, this is what the album would sound like.
Absolutely.
Is that her? She must have been really practicing her vocal techniques and stuff.
Oh yeah, she's been working.
That's very cool. Okay, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this yet. I really think that that's really cool, but I don't know. I don't know. There's something strange about it. Like, I almost feel like the quirkiness is gone, you know? And
True.
And I wanted the album to be more straightforward, you know? Mm-hmm. I said that even just a little before we started, but now that it has
No,
done
I agree. I completely agree. That's one of the criticisms I had when the singles were out. There was like a little combination of like 3 or 4 singles on one, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking,
like a little EP thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely her heaviest work, but it seems to be transitioning into a much less interesting space.
Which is almost interesting that she would try that. See, and we've talked about this before with Poppy. She is very much willing to take strange risks that other artists wouldn't, you know? Like she is such an interesting artist, and I have seen a lot of like media coverage of her over the last like month or so. Just like when I first log into my phone, like when I go to Google Chrome or whatever on my phone, there's like a home page where it just loads like random stuff that would be interesting to me from all different websites. A lot of it's video game. I constantly get things that are like, after 10 years, someone finally found this secret buried deep inside The Witcher 3. And I click on it, and it's like some guy found out that if at 2 o'clock at night you walk through this fence, there's like a glitch in the wall that you can jump over this thing and then walk for 2 hours, and then you can make it to this other part of the map that you can't get to until two missions later. I'm like, this is ridiculous and stupid, and you just wasted all my time. Just like I wasted your time telling that story. But I have been seeing a lot of things about Poppy, and like just like articles that say stuff like the most important artist, like the most important metal artist of today or of right now or something. And I also saw one that said like, is she metal? Something like that. And so I'm sure, and a lot of it was coming from like louder.com, which is one I listen to sometimes. Metal Sucks sometimes. Just articles and stuff about her. And I think that that's really interesting because you and I have talked about her a lot before, about what she's doing to bring new people into the metal genre. And I'm curious if those people like this album, because we've also talked about how Poppy wears her influences on her sleeve so obviously. She very much to us felt like Lights, but I think to most other people you could say there's like elements to her pop music of like Halsey or even Taylor Swift and stuff like that, but her voice doesn't really sound like that, but there's definitely things. And with her with I Disagree, it was definitely like baby metal influenced. It was like if an American made crazy Japanese metal, that's like what it sounded like. And that's clearly what the inspiration was. And so it's interesting because the inspiration for this feels more like the metal almost I grew up with, or the heavy stuff that I grew up with.
Yeah, I'd say it feels much more traditional in influence. Like this is now she's being influenced by the same bands that all of the other metal bands were, instead of things that are like, especially novel.
And it's really interesting too, because she had those 2 years there after I Disagree came out where she was touring as a metal act, and then she stopped with Zig last year, and I'm assuming she was not touring with metal. I don't know how she did it or what she was doing, but
she also had to do Helix or whatever the previous album before that was.
The one before I Disagree?
Before Zig.
Oh, Flux, you mean?
Flux, yeah.
Right, Flux, which was totally just like a grunge, like that album really grew on me, whereas for you, Zig really grew on you.
Yeah, it did.
So that was what I meant when she takes risks. Like, after I Disagree, to then release Flux, which is like a different stratosphere of rock band music, and then to release Zig, which is back to her more original roots of being a pop artist.
She is always like, here's a genre I haven't done yet. Let's see if I can make that work.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And so this is the thing that's interesting, the most interesting to me is like, I feel like everything she's doing should be like right up my alley. But so far with these first 2 songs, and now we're going to get to the song that I do know, which I remember liking quite a bit. But I also remember me feeling that there was some element that was gone that made it special. And it was almost a little too generic-y. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But let's listen to They're All Around Us again. We'll just see what we think. Okay, so this is They're All Around Us in 3, 2, 1.
Coward!
I mean, this is like Meshuggah. Ah! I have not listened to this since we listened to it.
Nice.
Now this sounds Birthday Massacre to me, which I didn't connect that before. Wow. And the cymbals sound so fake.
They're barely there.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are
which is
barely
fine.
there.
Which is fine. They're doing the modern thing where you just focus on the kick and the snare, and then the guitars are what's heavy. I wonder what Chris Schoenberg would think of this.
I wonder that a lot.
Yeah. I love when you listen to a song once and then like months later you hear it again and it just feels familiar. I love that because I can also listen to some songs 10 times and they never feel familiar to me, you know?
And then, and to that same effect, listening to it again, way off, and then having that really confirm, like, oh yeah, this is.
Yes, that's the
just as
best
good as I
feeling.
remember.
100%. See there, they like abruptly cut her vocal track off, like her breath, and it felt really jarring, but then there was like this like industrial hit in there. Really cool.
Split. First split.
Yeah. This is so much, in my opinion, I like this way better than the first two songs.
This is huge.
Yes. And those drones in the background, that is
doing
also
so much.
Yeah, that's such a Birthday Massacre thing as well. There's a lot to that.
This honestly is like oh wait.
Okay, yeah. Ah, dang it. I hate it when I air drumming and I miss a snare. It's like the worst feeling in the world. Oh God, stop it.
What a song.
Okay.
Man,
Yes.
what a
phenomenal,
song.
Phenomenal.
That I was gonna say to hear a timeline of Poppy's been hanging out a lot with Bad Omens. And then you hear this song and you're like,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
There aren't any songs on here that feature a different artist, are there? No. Doesn't look like. Now there could be guest artists that just aren't credited on Spotify, but yeah. So yeah, that's just great. I mean, that's phenomenal. That has the like sort of shock factor, but just the machine gun kick drum pattern, the guitar riff. You know, it's interesting because it's gentle.
$50 that she opens her show with that song.
Oh, she should absolutely. Oh yeah, can you imagine they just play this like sort of ethereal thing for a while and she walks on stage and everyone's screaming and then just destruction.
Yep.
And the sound guy's like, please don't do that song first. It takes me a good 30 seconds to get the whole mix going for the crowd. You know, you can set it up perfectly, but then once thousands of people get in the venue, it sounds different because their bodies are moving around.
Yep.
And so he's like, no, please, Poppy, don't. And she's like, no.
No, you will do it the way I tell you.
That's how she talks now.
Yeah, that's
too.
how she talks now. Yeah. Which I've been so shocked that they haven't used any songs from this album in WWE because Triple H is now in charge of the whole WWE. And when he was in charge of NXT, she was there doing quite a bit of stuff. She even jumped off the top rope. Oh yeah, if she wanted to be a professional wrestler, she 1,000,000,000% could go in, even as like a celebrity. She could go win some women's champion or something if she wanted to, championship.
Nice.
But I'm glad she's focusing on music. Too many artists like a Fine Frenzy decide they want to be in a terrible Harry Potter spinoff series and then ruin their entire musical career. But anyway, so. Yeah, that's just great. The whole thing is great. But what I was going to say is the metal aspect of this is a type of metal that I like, where you're not like on her previous album. The one song I'm thinking of, I can't remember what it was called, but it was the chewy, yummy, 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 something a tasty treat, sugar in my dream,
Yeah,
candy
the
in my teeth.
concrete.
Yeah.
But just back, it was this total bipolar, like back and forth.
Right, and so it was like that.
Sort of bam.
Right? So far, we've heard like no lead guitars at all. No deedlies, no nothing like that. It's just been chuggy riffs. And there's a huge section of metal that is just that. And when I was getting into metal, half of the bands that I listened to were like that, just pattern-based stuff, and half of them were more like Soilwork, In Flames stuff, which I think is much more influenced by Metallica, which is more like using more of the neck of the guitar.
Yeah, I like a modern classical.
More of like a thrashy, like, but also because on her previous album, I said baby metal was a huge influence. That stuff is all about like crazy tech metal stuff, like bonkers, like shock value metal. And
That's a path that she could go down now. I mean, she did a little bit on I Disagree, as you're talking about right now, but to just like really dive deep into like mathcore.
Well,
like Protest the Hero.
From here, I think if she grows, she's going to do an album with just an orchestra. That will happen someday. Like she will get up there and be like, "Hey, did you all know I could actually sing?" And she will do a full on with an orchestra album. Like,
I think on a long enough timeline that'll happen.
that could be really cool. I don't know what she's great though, but we also know she's a great actor, at least for very specifically because she started as a kid doing I'm Poppy. She started being this creepy character that like never once have I ever seen her break character ever. And I've seen her do interviews for an hour and not break character, just being the like, she's supposed to be a robot. That was her character. She was a android or like a robot or whatever. So like, she's so great. Let's move on and we'll just continue. We'll just have like a running conversation about her.
Yeah. So this is going to be the 47 seconds. So should we just go 4 into 5?
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
We'll listen to Yesterday and Crystallized because I assume it's sort of an intro thing to the next thing. Okay, track 4, Yesterday, in 3, 2, 1. That's a little shrill. This should have been brought down in volume.
Yeah, like the thing we were talking about with whoever it was.
Yeah. Like her voice is the proper volume, but the rest of it should have been brought down. I will not be shocked if when the next song starts, it drops down in overall perceived volume.
Yeah.
I think she could also benefit from having someone in her, I'm sure live, someone in her band does backup vocals or additional screams and stuff. I did not expect that. If there's no guitars in this song, Chris, she's blown my mind. Now, if
this song here?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This is awesome. What happened? What?
It switched to a completely different band and artist.
Okay, I'll pause it.
No, I'm good. Well, yeah, where are you at?
I'm at 25 seconds.
Okay, I'm at 11.
So go to 25 seconds. Have you already heard this one, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Okay, go ahead.
While we're talking about that real quick, have you listened to this whole album at this point?
Not the whole album, no.
So the last few songs, I assume you haven't heard?
Yeah, a little bit less than the last half is what I have left.
Okay, all right. Well, that does neither here nor there. So, okay, well, 25 seconds into Crystallized, which so far has been this sweet electronic 80s inspired, much more sounding like Lights thing. Okay, hold on. Now I'm at 28 seconds because I wasn't thinking, Chris. Go
Yep,
to 28
same, we're good.
seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry. Just we'll listen to it and it'll be fine. This is, I'm not gonna lie, this is awesome. This is like the best Poppy song I've ever heard. Yes. This, oh my god, I love this so much. I was not expecting this. This is, I'm shocked.
The song itself, or this the way that the
This, no, it's not a metal song, Chris.
right?
I was not expecting that. Now the possibilities are endless now. The future has opened up very wide. But even still, this is like a synthwave song. And it sounds fantastic. Maybe there's no more metal songs. Oh my god, that would be crazy. Oh, awesome.
I was talking to Kitty, seldom broken and bored. I was praying to God, make me happy. I wanna be adored. Heard his voice on the speakers.
Not gonna lie, the talking is a little disappointing.
He was my cure.
I think it's one measure too long. Where it's
Swore
talking.
I'd never be alone again.
Okay, at least it didn't go right into the chorus. We got a little musical break here. This is... This is maybe the most Birthday Massacre song I've ever heard her do, and the Birthday Massacre don't do any music like that. So explain that to me. This is really cool. I'm on the end now, the end part. It's just this weird sort of...
Right into the next song.
Yeah. Okay, I paused it. Okay, so... Oh, I am shooketh. I am shooketh. Did not expect that. I expected 14 or 13 tracks of the same 3 songs we just heard, but mind blown. Totally explodedly blown.
Good.
I like that better than the 3 previous songs.
I don't even know how you can compare them.
That is incredible. Well, you got to. They're on the same damn album by the same artist.
You'd think so, but here we are with 2 completely different types of music.
I love
one
this,
after another.
Chris. This is great. This is she's opened Pandora's box. You know, Athena has tricked her into opening Pandora's box, and even though Athena's actually wrong and she's releasing hope into the world, my hope has come into me that this album is going to blow the crap out of me. I am so pumped for this now. I have no clue what anything is going to be from now on. It could be anything. And oh my God, I love that feeling. I love it. Oh, this is great.
Well, let's plow right forward then.
I was going to suggest we keep going, but I was like, no, I got to center. Okay, this is vital. In 3, 2, 1. See, now they could mix the 2 things together, kind of, maybe. Her voice sounds so good when she sings this lower register.
Yes.
Synth pads in the background, very lush, very nice.
Fantastic drums. Top shelf.
Oh my God, this is the Birthday Massacre, Chris.
I know.
Except this is better than the best thing the Birthday Massacre has done. is so good. Oh my god. That is like a lights chorus. That is structured and set up and sounds like a lights chorus with her hanging vital out at the end. Oh. Chris, she has taken all the things that we love and put them into one damn artist. How did she do this?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Are we listening to the #1 album of the year? I know I always say that and then it falls apart after I say that, so. Straight up lights. That could be a real snare.
I'd believe it if it was.
And listen to those guitars too. Hear lots of reverb on them. This is awesome. If she screams at the end of this and this is heavy at the end, we've just heard the perfect ever song.
That would be incredible.
I don't think she'll do that, but that's not the vibe here. But I mean, like, if she put everything she has in.
That's what Bill Murray does. Like,
oh, sure.
He has songs just like this, and then he'll just at the end, and then it's over.
I can't, Chris. I cannot. Why were those first 3 songs so bad? And now
they're
my
not
mind.
bad at all.
I know they're
fantastic.
not. I know they're not. But holy crap!
You know, earlier when you said something about how the Birthday Massacre has an album coming out, when?
I don't know, sometime in the beginning of next year.
I thought it's too bad that the Best Birthday Massacre album already came out this year.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes. The thing is, oh my gosh, what if there was a tour with the Birthday Massacre lights and Poppy?
It couldn't be.
Chris,
it could never cost too much.
I would come visit you to see that. I would literally tear my thing out of the wall at the hospital and fly dripping blood through the hospital, the airport, to your house.
Well, since this is a fantasy, we'll meet halfway when they play Red Rocks in Denver. How does that sound?
Or we could go see them when they're in Montana. Or worse, I guess Wyoming. I was just trying to pick a silly place halfway in between.
Oh, sure.
Casper, when they play Casper, Wyoming.
Of course,
But they skip Omaha. City of a million people. Okay, whatever. I just want to keep going. Okay, so this
Let's
is
do it.
Push Go in 3, 2, 1. Really distorted snare, very cool.
This feels a little bit more like classic Poppy in a way.
Okay.
Whatever happened, something happened to your mic just now. You are crazy loud.
Is it still loud right now?
Yeah.
Check.
That's
Check. It looks better on my end.
Yeah, it's a little loud still, but we're all right.
Okay, hopefully it kind of fixes itself over time.
This is very garbage too. There's a lot of garbage in this.
This is Flux from her album.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
fair. Yeah.
Sort of what that was doing with like real drums. But it still feels heavy.
Listen to that. Like that is pure garbage.
What a cool vocal line. That's very different for her. But and also we've all of a sudden we've got little metal riff in the back, little poppy metal riff.
I love this blending she's doing. She's figuring it out. How to mix the two of the best.
Chris, we're not even. I think we're only like just barely. We're not even halfway yet.
I do love the way that ends.
This is like that's like an '80s vocal line. I see the garbage thing because they used a lot of distorted vocals in choruses.
And that guitar sound, I don't think I've heard that since '92.
There's more natural hi-hat sound here, but you need that to balance out the distortion in her voice and the different sort of guitar tone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost just white noise.
Yeah. Oh, half tempo.
A little bit almost Middle Eastern.
Yeah. Well, Bloodywood. She could tour with Bloodywood. Imagine Bloodywood featuring Poppy. She couldn't go tour with them in India. Or maybe in India she could. I guess if they played like Saudi Arabia. Oh, cool. I'm a sucker for stutter editing.
There's just, it's just this weave of so many things.
Yeah, yeah. This is really reminding me of 90s stuff.
Yes.
This particular song, yeah. Or early 2000s. Do you know how old Poppy is?
Probably 30.
30, you think? I think she's older than that.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, how old is the singer Poppy?
29 years old.
29? You were hit it on the spot?
Yep.
Wow, I would have thought maybe... She seems that old to me, but I was thinking maybe she's older than she actually is, and she actually did experience some of the 90s, but she did not. she did not.
Nope.
I don't even know what to say, because
Speechless.
we've talked about this before so many times on the channel. The bands that are... or some of the music that's most special to me and some of the albums that I love the most are the ones that just feel like anything could happen from track to track. You know, where you could hear anything. That's why it's fun to listen to Pendulum. That's why it's fun to listen to BT. That's why it's fun to listen to some of the bands
I think
that
electronic
consider-
artists in general are a really great place for that kind of thing.
Exactly, and we've talked about this before too. If you incorporate electronics and programming elements into your music, then literally the amount what sounds are available to you is limited only by your imagination. You can use literally any sound in your music, you know, if you're if you're incorporating electronic elements and programming into your music. So absolutely incredible. I definitely get where you're getting with the garbage thing now, for sure.
Yeah.
And I will say I've never been a huge fan of garbage. They were one of the big influential things for me when I was growing up music-wise. We've talked about it before, video games, but specifically the game's frequency and amplitude on PlayStation 2. Garbage had songs on each of those games. It was
Nice.
Go Baby Go Go on frequency, I believe.
That's a perfect Poppy analog song.
Yeah, Go Baby Go Go.
Oh yeah.
I haven't heard that song since I probably played it a billion times on frequency. And then on their next on amplitude, I believe it was Cherry Lips or something like that. Cherry something.
I think that's the same song.
Oh, it's Cherry Lip Go. Okay, so then the next one was. It might. What's the one that starts with those electronic drums?
Boy, you're gonna want to do more than that.
It was like one of their bigger songs.
I don't know.
I think it was like a question. It was a question with a question mark in it. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. But that's what I know most of Garbage. And a couple of years ago, I did buy like a deluxe remastered version of their biggest album.
Garbage 2.0, I think probably.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I bought like a remastered version, of like a 10 or 20 year remastered version of I don't know, it was 20 because it probably came out in 2000 or 1996 or something like that.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
so maybe it was 12 year, maybe it was 15. Who knows? Maybe it was just 10 year.
I didn't become a huge Garbage fan until like probably like 2010. Like I had a really, really late. I don't know. It was just funny because I remember being at work and there was just some guy that worked. He was, I don't know, probably 15 years older than me, maybe 20, something like that. And he just, casually in conversation, he was talking about how much he loved the band Garbage, and I thought it was really strange for him.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh yeah, them. And I started listening to him again. I was like, oh, I love this. This is great. And there's a couple of songs that, I remember very well from the 90s. And then I just listened to their first like 3 albums a lot, like that year, especially, just constantly.
I guess I shouldn't comment on them because I don't really know that much. But anyway, we're here to talk about Poppy, which is fantastic. So let's just not waste any more time talking about stuff I don't know anything about. Not that you should feel free to talk about whatever you want, but
You're fine.
talk about too much stuff I don't know. So let's get to nothing in 3, 2, 1. I felt after that one it would have been a good transition song back into the heaviness.
Yeah, it's kind of getting you prepared for it. Oh yeah, this is Evanescence.
Little Prodigy part in the background there.
True.
That wasn't the chorus, Chris? Okay, so I'll be shocked if we get 3 choruses in this song. That was just a pre-chorus.
This is almost Korn.
A little bit, yes. With the groove there, for sure. Oh. Man, you were kind of right with the Evanescence thing, but I don't like that because to me it soil tarnishes Evanescence.
That shit. Cool reverb on that.
She's definitely singing different here. Okay, they skipped that pre-chorus thing, so we'll probably hear that again at the end of the song. Okay. Okay, all right, what are we gonna do here?
Tear it apart.
Blah. Oh man!
Man, oh man. Spirit Box is back.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, Chris, I screwed up. I heard the first second of the next song.
Uh-oh.
I know there's some... She really got me there. I assumed that was the chorus and we were going to go back into a verse. And then it went... we started like this, and then it went down like this, and then it went like this, and then it went like this. And it was amazing. And that was great. I really liked that one. I really loved the thing behind the first verse, and there were elements of it in the second verse, but that like really chaotic sort of like sounded
really,
like the Prodigy to me.
Skittery, stuttery, high, like really
yes.
high, short.
Yes, almost like an industrial music type of thing. And I really like that. I think that this album is very special. I cannot wait to be done with it and formulate my overall opinion. So let's go to The Center's Falling Out. Oh, this is the two short songs, The Center's Falling Out and Hey There. So let's just go ahead and listen to both of these together. I don't know if they're connected or not.
Okay.
But let's just go ahead and do it for the sake of time. And then also, I already heard the first second of this one. So, all right. The Center's Falling Out in 3, 2, 1. Prodigy's back.
Yep.
Oh, okay. This is like off the Eat EP.
Yes.
I was hoping we were going to get a song that was heavy all the way through. Now I'm making some big assumptions here 30 seconds into it. Double track the whole time, the vocals. Yep. Thrashy. Thrashy. There's definitely real snare drum in there.
Yes.
Also, a lot more cymbals.
The pain grows in misery's bed, while the sun is falling out. See the cracks in the pale white. I watch
Are they going to just blow us apart here?
do
Or are they just going to go back into... Oh, Chris would love this. He's a sucker for the squealing.
Good.
Those dissonant squeals. Ow, I hit my ear headphone. Ow. All right, we're keeping it going, whatever it is. Have you heard this yet?
No. This Spotify is really pissing me off right now.
Oh, did it play something different? You must have it on...
Switching back to my queue or whatever. I don't know how to wipe it out, and it's making me crazy.
You do have it on shuffle or something? Do you
No,
want me to
I
pause
don't.
it and restart it?
We're good.
Yeah, this is obviously just some sort of a transition thing.
Yeah, I'm at 22 seconds.
Yeah, I'm at 30.
Okay.
I mean, this is like some kind of like,
Yeah.
Hey, baby, come on over here.
you know, it's like,
Perfect right after that last song, right?
I love it.
Nothing jarring about it.
I love it. I love it.
Same.
Also, your quality just went so down that you look like a pixel.
Boy, does it. Oh.
You'll come back. If anybody watching this knows how we can fix a guest in OBS's track to make it... We have good enough internet, I assure you. I don't know why this happens. We're using
Video
OBS.
Ninja even.
We're using OBS with Video Ninja, correct?
Yeah.
If there's something better than Video Ninja, please let us know. Keep going. Just keep going.
All right.
At the world, I'm amazed. You'll never tell by my face. The sentiment is overblown.
Oh my god, her voice sounds so different.
Look in my I feel the skull
Yeah, she's like, it's like whole now.
It's like bubblegum pop punk.
and it's all so negative. It's not happening. What a love they're always trying to take.
We'll pause it after this song. This is more Flux as well.
Yeah.
The cymbal's very low pass compared to the previous song. Oh, now the low pass is off. Maybe it's just the certain mics. Very lights here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More garbage.
Retardondo.
How dare you?
As we've gone on, the album has gotten more and more organic in a lot of ways.
What's that?
As we've gone on, the album's got more and more organic. I feel like there's more and more. It's felt less and less programmed and overly fake. I say, and
More live.
Yeah. And that was really great. That definitely wasn't my style of song as much as everything else I've heard on the album, but
Yeah.
I'm really happy it's there. Though.
Yeah, it just made me think like too. So this is already a pretty long album, 15 songs, and when you're just flying between these disparate genres, it makes the journey feel twice as long. Like it's been 100 years since we listened to that first song.
It has. It has. It's really an interesting thing too, because we've only been recording for an hour and a half. You know, and usually I'm not really feeling very fatigued or anything, but usually towards the end of videos we start feeling pretty fatigued, like listening fatigue, and I don't feel that at all. And I think part of that is because it's been such a crazy, but also it's just like really, this is very gratifying to me to listen to, because, and I'm sure for you too, we have been saying for years that Poppy is awesome, and this feels like her saying, hey, you guys are right.
You're right. Yeah, you're
know?
right, she says.
Yeah. It's like, I've heard these guys talk about me online, and I got to make them proud. And it's like, I feel like, who could deny how awesome she is after listening to this?
Right.
Only people who listen to Taylor Swift, I guess. But like, there was a pop song on there better than anything Taylor Swift has ever done. So it's like, although they were talking in the middle, but I still even like Ronnie, Hey, Ronnie.
Oh, that Metallica song?
Yes, I keep bringing, of all the Metallica songs we've listened to, I think of that one, probably one of the most. And it's probably like, of all 7,000 songs they've done, that's probably the 6,997th one on most people's lists.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one that I thought you would hate the most is apparently the one that you can't let go of.
Hey, Ronnie. Ronnie was a kid, and he was having trouble. Or whatever the stupid, terrible, like, trucker line. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I only bring that up is because in that awesome pop song earlier on, Crystallized, she did that, like, talking part in the in the bridge. But that didn't ruin the song for me. And the fact that she went back to whatever. This is amazing. This whole album is amazing. I will say the last few songs have not blown me away as much. The Center's Falling Out, Hey There was just this weird, like,
Hey baby, come on over here.
type of thing.
Barely a song, yeah.
Yeah, which it wasn't. It wasn't a song. It was a little intro, and that's fine, you know. So if we take that out, there's actually only 12 songs on here, because there was yesterday was 47 seconds. That one was Hey There, and I assume tomorrow. So there's actually only 12 songs, which is
Still fine.
still great. Yes, and it's 42 minutes. So that's like more than 10 minutes more than the average Poppy album. So now we're getting to some of the songs you haven't heard yet, right? Okay, so do you have anything you want to say about some of this stuff? I mean, I know we talked during the song a little bit, but...
Right. I don't know, I was thinking earlier, like, who would have thought the heaviest song of the year was also on the best...
the album with one of the best pop
album?
songs.
Yeah, the best Birthday Massacre album with
Right.
the best, like... It's all over the place, and it's just... So much of what she's been doing, like as she goes through these different genres since whatever album was before I Disagree.
Which I've never listened to that album.
What, I Disagree, or
The one before I Disagree.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, and that's back when, you know, it was all just the pink bubblegum pop that she was doing before.
Yeah. And I know she did incorporate some sort of guitars and stuff, I think, on the later half of that album, as far as I understand.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe I think she's starting to do this thing.
Yeah.
But like all of these different trips through these genres feel like she's just sort of collecting them and mastering them as she goes. And she's
that's
like, look at all this cool stuff I can do now.
Yeah,
you know?
it doesn't feel like a gimmick.
No, none of this. This is all like on par with the best version of, like, pick any artist that is the best at any of these genres, and these songs are perfectly on par with any of it.
Yeah, it sounds like someone who has a great love of a variety of music, and I think that's just amazing. And I would love to talk to the people who make the music. I don't want to say for her, because I think she has a very great hand in what's going on at all times.
Yes,
but I don't think she's necessarily the one like sitting down and writing the guitar riffs and stuff and
she's
programming
got
the drums.
Team, I would say.
Yeah, and so I would love to talk to those people and just have them tell me what it's like to be in the studio with Poppy. Like, does she sit down before this and say, let's talk about this towards the end. Let's get through the album, and then because I feel like this conversation we were about to have, I feel like would be good for the end.
There was something that you were going to say earlier that you held off on.
Yeah, it's not really that relevant anymore because the album's gone to such a different direction. What I was going to say, well, okay, I think when we get to New Way Out, that's her 8 million plays, the most plays on this whole album. Is that song more of like a metal song, like a heavy one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll talk about that after that then.
Okay.
But right now we're on the track before that, 3.5 minutes, called "Surviving on Defiance." In 3, 2, 1.
When I run,
Lights.
Yep.
you won't find me tracing my steps.
If you said this is the new Lights song, I'd be like, okay.
Dude, why does that sound like Poppy?
It doesn't though. It sounds like Lights. Son of a bitch.
Right, but with her singing it.
No, it just sounds like her. It sounds like Lights. There's Poppy in there. Yeah. Would you believe it or not, Poppy sounds like Poppy.
If I'm living now, I'm half alive. I'm surviving on defiance.
Enormous.
Oh, those like electronic tom drums.
Yep.
What a weird thing to have in there.
I love it.
That
The
made
digital
that for me.
bubbles.
That was so cool. Oh man.
As it was, I was losing myself.
Very dreamlike here. Oh. Could she release 2 or 3 albums like this every year, please?
That's so much work. I feel like I'm
Here.
exhausted listening to
She
this.
could do it. I love it.
I mean, on her behalf. I'm
Oh,
exhausted.
yeah, no, for sure. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
While the future's still looking bright, I'm surviving on defiance.
Yes. Oh man.
And to
See-
make them so that you can hear them.
And they doing that by having the snare drum be low passed. There's no snappiness on the snare drum here.
Huge, man. How is there so much room for this much giganticness?
You know what I think they did, Chris?
Oh.
Okay, this is probably going to go into the next track, but I want to pause it.
Okay.
Okay, I paused it. Okay, so what I think they did there, Chris, and I would have to listen to it again, but that thing, what it sounded like to me, I started to hear it, and I was like, is this what they're doing? And I was trying to pay attention every time, but I didn't think of it until we were over halfway through the song. So I'll have to go back and listen, but I think every time that we were hearing that little electronic tom part, they were using the snare drum to trigger when that was happening. So this whole, they have the drums on the whole album mapped out to what the drummer went in and played the drums, right? And then the kick that we're hearing sounds to me like it's mostly like a sample of a kick that they put in there and used what the drummer was playing as a trigger or a drum replacement basically, to make a different kick drum sound, but you're hearing it at the timing that the drummer played it, right? Very common. You hear that on basically everything that's made nowadays. And for the snare on most of the songs, you can listen to it and they have a snappy, like you can hear that snare sound that you heard in that song, the snare part, just the snare, is what I'm guessing the real snare sounded like. But little hollow, not very snap. But in all the other songs, you can hear that sound in there. But there's also like a snappiness to it, and they added that snappiness, like a second sounding snare, or more, maybe probably 2 or 3 different snares to make the overall snare sound that we hear when we listen to it. But in that song, they did not have those. You just heard the real snare. But because they had all the drums mapped out for every song, what they did was every snare hit during the chorus, instead of adding a snare, they took that like MIDI representation data and put it on a tom drum, like an electronic tom like sample kit, and then they triggered different pitches of the electronic toms. So that when he's playing his ghost notes and stuff on the snare, because he wasn't playing, he was going like stuff like that, and that's when we were hearing the like. I think if you went back and listened to that, every snare hit in the chorus has a different pitched tom, like electronic tom sound mapped onto it.
I'll have to listen to that.
I've never heard a band do that before. Replace the triggered snare sound with different frequencies to make a sort of melodic thing using the snare as the trigger for that. I've never heard a band do that before.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Seems pretty complex.
That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that as a way to utilize drum replacement tools.
And imagine if they didn't do it like that at all. Then you just came up with this whole system.
right. And I'm sure that probably has been done different ways. Like a lot of the times with snare, if you listen to it, you can feel the snare going like on songs. Like if it's just, you perceive it as going. What they're actually doing to give it that sort of forward momentum, and on the 2, it's the lower pitch snare, and the 4 of the measure, it's the higher pitch snare. They do that a lot. The constant sound of the snare is there, and then you pick your perfect sound snappiness of the snare and put it on top of it, and then you pitch shift one just a few cents above it, or maybe a whole semitone above it, because a percussive sound doesn't matter the pitch really. You can work it with different things to an extent. So make it work with within any key theoretically. So you're actually hearing drums that are going back and forth. So it sounds like rather than just. It's more of a, which that's I'm doing this kick drum there, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Rather than, hopefully you understand what I mean. Everybody, hopefully you understand what I mean.
It's devolving, but
yeah, sorry. Okay, anyway, all right, let's go on to New Way Out, and then I'll give my metal talk that I was gonna have. All right.
okay.
New Way Out, track 13, 322 in 3, 2, 1. I love this already. If we get bum 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 bum.
Poppy.
Yo, let's get the call back to Poppy. Love the hi-hat, programmed hi-hat, incredible. Haven't heard anything like that the whole album.
I'm in too deep. I make believe. I know the demons always choose me. They shift and twist, push back again. They're always trying to consume me. I cannot let it in. They'll take my everything. Leave me nothing else.
That's a vocal line, I think, that synth in the back.
You're right. It's like a type thing, but way better than that. See, this is like that bicycle song on her last album. This is clearly this is clearly the like eggs, all of our eggs, this basket. This song sounds clearly better than everything else, sonic-wise. Birthday Massacre. Static X.
Yeah.
And so many great things that I love. If you throw that just like constant hi-hat beat over any groovy metal thing, you have got me. This sounds phenomenal. Her vocals clearly recorded. This is probably made at a different studio at a different time. I can't get over the Poppy. I can't get over it. That was so awesome. What a treat for people who know her, like her, followed her career. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Poppy. Do it. Do it.
Are you gonna get up? Or are they gonna keep you?
Ah, this is like Bad Omens quality here.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
There's so much. It's so wide.
I might have been wrong earlier when I told you what the song of the year was. I love that totally dry vocal. This is Birthday Massacre chorus. I mean, like straight up Birthday Massacre chorus. This is actually making me kind of sick.
Why?
Because I thought I had my list mostly made, Chris. This is gonna chaos will ensue.
Correct.
Chaos will ensue. Unless this last song is all about...
How Patrick sucks.
No, that would be great. There's only a few things she could. There's only a few things she could actually sing about that would like make me mad. But I have heard albums before that I've absolutely like loved, and then you get to the last track and they have all of a sudden decided that they wanted to try to, you know, what's when someone makes you mad? Oh my god.
Antagonize you?
Yeah, antagonize. That's not the word I was thinking, but that was like pull on all of my strings. You know what I mean? Like push all of my buttons. Like just find that exact pathway to like hit everything to like make me mad. Again, I don't know what the word I was thinking of. It doesn't matter. But hey, I have leukemia, people. So, okay. So here's the metal thing I was gonna say earlier, and this does not apply to that song because that was phenomenal. Like phenomenal. Across the board, phenomenal. Okay, Chris, so we have 2 tracks to go, but they're really...
1.5?
We're just going to listen to this all in one go. I assume Tomorrow is kind of leading into Halo. So let's just go ahead and listen to Tomorrow all the way through Halo to the end of the album. Okay?
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Dreaming.
Indie video game
Dreaming my
soundtrack.
life away
Side-scrolling,
for
pixel
tomorrow.
art.
There's a
Maybe not
great...
Tomorrow I'll be ready.
There's this...
Tomorrow will
handful of-
change.
Oh, her voices.
Tomorrow.
Oh, wait.
Tomorrow doesn't wait for me.
Okay, interesting.
For me.
For me.
But it's not just for
wonder
me
how she did-
anymore.
I wonder what that effect is.
This is the kind of stuff that she would do in her
I like
videos
entertaining.
Yeah.
before.
Don't we all like entertaining?
This is exactly what she would do in her
Tell
videos.
me.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's funny because it's coming after New Way Out, where she started out with Poppy.
It's not just for me anymore.
I want this to be a really good send-off for this amazing album.
I love that ding, ding, bang, but it's got these wobbly, like, kind of like pitch noises in it.
Yeah, that's true.
I was fine for a minute till I remembered you were somewhere on a distant shore. You left it as it was before.
Very loud it sounds.
Very loud.
Yeah.
Caught wind of the panic. Does woe have a limit? Still something that it's looking up. Or can an optimist self-destruct? So wait it out. The road is winding narrow. It's all you have. I know you can't turn back now. I'll follow where your light goes. 'Cause they don't know what we know.
Lights.
Yep. Lights and a little bit of Isley.
Oh, okay.
Is that a guitar?
I thought it sounded kind of like reverse strings or something like that.
Something just came in reversed. Really high, super sharp.
Everything is really hot.
Yeah.
It's easy.
A lot of crispiness on this song.
A million one reasons, and I'm full of ambition. And they're gawking as we keep it hush. Question raising, you know what? Look at us. So wait it out. The road is winding narrow. It's all you have. I know you can't turn back now. I'll follow where your light goes. 'Cause they don't know what we know. You're in a dream. You're everybody's hero. But it's you and me. So love you with the light goes.
There's the poppy. That. Bam, bam, bam. I like the way that died on the sides first and then went out in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Okay. I like that. I did. I didn't dislike it. It's definitely not my favorite song.
If that had been in the middle of the album, what a bummer.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. I
was just thinking about, like, do songs get a pass to be a little bit worse as the last track on an album?
I personally don't think that, because I feel like it's your obligation as an artist to have a song that's specifically meant to be the final track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. I hate listening to an album where the last song is just another song on the album. I really hate that.
Oh, I see.
I really
just
hate
ends?
that.
Yeah. Okay.
No, yeah, not even necessarily it just ends. Like,
right, but
it's
the
just
album
another
just
song.
ends, where it's just like, here's song. Oh,
yeah.
Never mind, it's over.
Yeah, if nothing, I don't even care. If nothing else, just put sound effects or something as the last track, like something to make it different. But
okay,
yeah, I really,
yeah, I see. So this works really well as like a closing track.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And it was very different from a lot of the stuff everything else we heard. Those drums were electronic drums the whole time. They had a bit of a hip hop feel with having them be sidechain compressed so much when the hi-hat was hitting on like every note, right? Mm-hmm. And when the kick or the snare hit, the hi-hat would would be down in level for a little bit, and that's how you make hip-hop music. That's why hip-hop music sounds, why hip-hop drums sound so great, why loops sound so great, because they're compressed so much. And so when we first heard that, I was like, oh, this has like a bit of like a flow to this, which is nice. And then she wasn't singing that way at all. It was a ballady type song, and it built very well, which is something that I feel a final track on an album. I like final tracks that build like that. I also like if it was just an acoustic song or her with the piano or something, that would be also very acceptable for a final song. But I'm happy it wasn't just like a balls to the wall thing, or like Bicycle off her last album, because I think Motorbike was the last track, I think.
Yeah.
And it was so jarring because it was like, first of all, why didn't the whole album sound like this? And then second of all, why is this the final song? The Birthday Massacre have done that before too, which is funny because we've been mentioning them a lot.
Motorbike was second to last.
Oh, okay. So there was a track after that. Is that a real music track, or is it just like a 30-second nothing?
No, it's a real one. It's got a bunch of fuzz. It's mostly piano. It just kind of, it was like a 7. 6.5. It's called Prove It.
Hold on, let me look. The fact that this album's not called Zag absolutely kills me. Wow. 5 dB louder than the album we just heard.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so that's kind of how that album was like. But Motorbike itself just sounds like a different level, like a different level. And the fact that that's not even the most, like, Church Outfit on that one is... Church Outfit has 7 million, Knockoff has 4.2 million, then is Motorbike with 2.9. So
I feel like most albums, the first song has the most plays. Except for singles.
Right, other than the singles, for sure. And we could definitely dive into that more, because the further down an album you go, there's with this one, Halo has 263,000, but No Way Out, which was her first single, has 8 million. You know, track Tomorrow, which is that intro thing, has 199,000. That's the least listened to. Mm-hmm. So people are just straight up skipping that song, like 50,000 times to every time someone listens to it. Which is
interesting because Hey You is less of a song than Tomorrow is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Yesterday is not much of a song either. And that has 325,000. But I think that's because people just put the album on and listen through the first half of it. Mm-hmm. because yeah, Hey There only has 257,000. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's talk about the album as a whole. So I feel like for those of you who don't know, we had like a 25-minute conversation there after the last little bit, which I'm going to cut out and release as a separate video because we were talking about just the state of metal in general. But we talked a little too long, and I felt my energy and excitement for the album kind of drain out of me as we were talking about other stuff. So I have to try to get back into it and think about it. But that'll help, I think, help me be a little bit more logical as we're talking about this. So this album, 12 tracks, 12 songs. Yeah, because we counted 3 songs that were kind of like transitional songs. I don't mind those transitions being there. I think they're actually probably very useful to have, especially between They're All Around Us and Crystallized. You couldn't go from from They're All Around Us to Crystallized. It would not work. So that's great. I feel like those things are in the right places, and I like those. I don't, because sometimes I get mad at albums when they have too much stuff like that. Like the earlier this year, I did a reaction. I haven't uploaded it yet to the Pure Reason Revolution album, and there was a track before almost every track that was like 13 to 20 seconds long of just like an extended synth kind of leading into the next track, but there was no point to it. You could have just, when I burned myself the CD to listen to it in a car and stuff to take it around with me, I cut all those out, and you can't tell that there's it doesn't like abruptly end and the next thing starts. It still just goes right into the next. It was really silly that they did that. I don't know why they did that.
I love the ability to go like doing what we do, being able to like, I don't like this part of this song, and just cut it out and fix it, and then you just carry around a version of that song you like.
oh yeah, I guess you're right. Most people probably couldn't do that. I also have the ability to take albums that I love that have just a little bit of something wrong with them mix wise and try to fix them myself and burn myself a copy of the album and listen to it again. But
there was
anyway,
one band I really liked that had 2 EPs that were both like half good. And I just tossed out the garbage and made them into a single album, and I still like the order now is burned into my brain as a full album that I listen to in that order.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this album is incredible.
Yes.
This album is incredible. When I go back now and listen to the first 2 songs, I think I'm going to like them a lot more because I know what's coming. You know, I was afraid we were going to have that for 15 songs, and
could you imagine?
Howdy, did we not? Yes, I could imagine. That's what I was imagining, and that's why I was going, I don't know about this. I want a copy of me.
Dude, those 2, the first 2 or even the first 3 songs for the rest of that album, just that in that bit, like that's work. That would be work.
It would. And the thing is, they're not bad songs at all. In fact, they're very good.
I love them. Yes.
And so then hearing Crystallized, my energy level shot through the roof. Like Crystallized shocked me. I was not expecting to get a full-on only electronic song, and it's really one of the only ones on the whole album. Vital is also kind of that, but it was more of it wasn't like a synthwave song. But like if we got a whole album of Crystallized inspired poppy, I would be like, this is great. So amazing. And I know I just said that I wish, I know that kind of contradicts what I just said with those first 2 songs, but the fact that all of this exists on the same album, I cannot wait to listen to this all in a row. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be I think I'll like it even more. The fact that not a single one of the songs felt too short to me. I can't believe I'm saying that about a poppy album. I can't believe it. Because she just has a history of having shorter songs, and she leaves me unsatisfied at the end of some of the songs. And a lot of that is because she was doing these sort of like verse, especially on Flux. That's one of the things I didn't like about it as much. Verse, chorus, songs over. And I appreciate the fact that each of those sections might have been like double the length, so that's how you get to your 3-minute song. But I would rather have a 3-minute song that is short verse, short chorus, short verse, short chorus, short bridge, short chorus. You know what I mean? But every one of these songs, I feel like went to the chorus a third time. Although I don't know if I guess I was paying attention to that sort of subconsciously. That's always on my brain. But for me personally, that's an important thing. But the moment after we got Crystallized, and I didn't know it was coming, every moment that we had a heavy moment became special all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And conversely to that, every moment that there was no guitars became special in the other way, you know? And so every song after Crystallized is like, there's special stuff about all of that. The Centers Falling Out was exactly what I said one of those 2 tracks was going to be. Just a bonkers like weird thing. And the song that's like her heavy song the entire time, no singing at all. And then I don't even remember what Surviving on Defiance is, or Negative Spaces, to be honest. But oh no, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, but like, I mean, incredible.
I wonder if choosing the track order for this album was a difficult task.
Well, I think it actually mattered in this case.
I agree. I think that you could do a lot. It says you could say a lot about like putting those 3 heavy songs up front and then dropping into Crystallized gives people this like huge energy burst for now the next section of the album, and it's a huge surprise. But if you like started with Crystallized and then you basically like blew your surprise right up front because
Yes.
all the singles were heavy.
Yes, a million percent. And everything that was different sounding on this, which is most songs had something different in them. Everything that was different was a pleasant surprise, like every aspect of it. And so the idea that the track order does matter in this album is absolutely true. Because there's a lot, like what I was saying earlier, where like if you don't put time and effort into making a final track, the order on your album probably doesn't matter that much, you know? And not every album has to be like a prog album where like every song connects to the next song, or like an archive album, which is a band we both like, where songs kind of, they literally like you have to listen to them in chunks of like 4, really. Or that Dark Side of the Moon, you know, where it's like
Right.
there's none of those songs were real songs, essentially, you know, they were, you know.
But then you've got like the second Purity Ring album, which I considered perfect, a front to back album. Every song's fire, even the last one. But you could completely change the order, and it probably would be the same.
Yep, same exact thing with the Ellie Goulding album that came out last year and the One Republic album that came out this year. And actually, there were 2 versions of the One Republic album, and I have the deluxe edition, which has a completely different track listing than the regular version.
Interesting.
Which
All
is
the way
really
top
weird.
to bottom?
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
That's
It's pretty
wild.
different. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah, it's very weird, and I think it has to do with the fact that they didn't get the rights. Almost every song on that album features like different artists, and like one of the songs that's on there, which I've been wanting to show you, and if that album ends up making on my list, which I don't think is. Chris, there is so much good music this year. This is going to be the hardest year for me in my list. Like the top 4 or now 5, probably 6 are going to be like the good stuff. But everything after that, this is going to be the toughest year for me. Because, you know, every other year we've talked about like from like 12 to like 7 or 6, maybe. It's always like you could kind of move these around at any point. And they're all kind of
Yeah, it's this weird difficulty where it's like ordering them is hard because it doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. I know exactly what you're saying. But this year, for me, there's going to be albums that stand out. And then there's going to be stuff that just barely doesn't stand out. And it's all going to be like, we could do a list this year that's probably 20 albums long. And then I would feel good about the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't feel like I was missing anything, but this year for sure, I'm going to feel bad about not including like 4 or 5 albums. And I don't recall that ever happening before. Usually I use my like 12th and 11th spot every year as a like, here's a nod to something that was pretty cool, that was special, but I didn't like it necessarily as much as the rest of it. That's not going to be the case this year. And so having this album come out, which will definitely be in my top 5 for sure, I guarantee that. It's going to be hard because I mean, I could, it's even just sitting here now, having listened to this the first time, I could see this being number 3, possibly even number 2, but I don't know. I don't think it will be either of those. I don't think it'll be that high, but I don't know because we'll get into this when we talk about our list, but I want to make those videos shorter as well. I don't want to make those videos a million hours long. And this year, just so you know, Chris and everyone watching, when we do our top 12 lists this year, we're going to actually make 3 videos. We're going to do each of us are going to do 12 through 6, right? And then 5 through 1. Is that how it works?
12 through 9? Oh, each of us?
Yeah, we're going to make 2 videos going through the list, right? So you and I will each go through 12 through 6, and then I think, right? Or is it 12 through 7? And then we do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we'll go through 12 through 7, and then we'll have a second video part 2 where it's 7 through, that's how
6
we've done
through
it.
1.
We've been
Yeah.
doing that way the last few years. But then we're also going to have a third part where I think you and I are each going to pick, to make it possible, I think we'll each pick 6 of our artists, 6 of our 12, to play one song from for the other person and for everyone.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We were
Yeah, I
planning
like
on
that.
doing that last year, and then I got leukemia and we couldn't do anything, and so then we
Rat
forgot.
bastard.
Yeah, I know. How dare? But so this year we're going to do that as well. So we're going to do 3 videos, and we'll try to do those 2 videos on the first day, and then we'll come back another day and we'll do that third video. So anyway, that's everyone can look forward to that here on the channel, and look forward to more Poppy talk. Sure, at that point. Poppy talk. I don't know. At this point, I feel like I'm kind of talked out. Do you want to talk about the album a little bit, your overall thoughts, and then we can wrap it up?
I had gone through most of it at least once before, and I remember thinking that it sounded like it almost had the vibe of like a B-sides album where they take, here's a bunch of crap from like the last 3 albums, let's put them onto one just to fill out a thing. But just by virtue of how
Different.
staggeringly different every, there's sections of this album are.
Yeah.
But having listened to it again, especially here like this, is like, no, this is just, it's like the Bad Omens album. There's just this wonderful variety
Yeah.
where like you just keep listening. It's like, what's going to happen next? Oh, something different.
It's like a
And
compilation.
it's wonderful.
album.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is like a compilation album or a soundtrack or something like that.
it is. It's a tour de force of all of the stuff that she's been doing for the last 5 years, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay, and so if anybody's watching this and you're unfamiliar with some of the stuff that we were talking about, we mentioned the Birthday Massacre a lot. So just real quick, the Birthday Massacre is sort of a gothic metal band. I really don't consider them metal ever, like a gothic rock band. Don't let the gothic part or the rock part
Like a
scare you.
synth rock, yeah. Their color's purple. They have a lot of synthwave music underneath their guitar, bass, drum, vocal.
Yeah, I've never heard a band that's really like them, although now we're starting to get stuff like that. So, and this kind of goes back to the conversation we just had where Birthday Massacre is less special now that there's other artists that have been influenced by Birthday Massacre. You know what I mean? But anyway, if anyone wants to check that out, check out the Birthday Massacre. We're talking about heavy guitars, really cool synth parts, female vocals the entire time that are never screamed. She only does somewhat harsh vocals on 3 songs of their entire 8 album or 7 album catalog. So all sung, and they have a very cool vibe to them with really interesting artwork. So check them out. We were also talking about Lights, which is a pop artist that we both like a lot. We've talked about her probably more than any other artist here on the channel over the last however many years, and she's appeared on our top 12 albums of the year lists almost every time. I think every time she has released an album, she's appeared on it, whether it was mine or yours or both of ours together, with the exception of Deb.
I was thinking before we got into this, this is the Lights channel, I would say, in a sense where it's like anytime Lights comes out, we're here to talk about Lights, and it's always going to be good, and so on and so forth. But it's like, is this coming in a Poppy channel? It's like, and Lights v Poppy in my head in terms of who's got the top seat for the band that we just constantly are flapping hands about whenever something new.
Well, the thing is, Poppy has an element to her music. The metal aspect to Poppy is what's special. So it's fun for us to talk about, like we have done in other videos, but not this one, where Poppy has outreach that goes further than someone who just basically sticks to one genre. And so we've talked before in her videos about how special it is that she's bringing people who might not necessarily be familiar with metal into the metal community, and everyone that we've seen seems to be very welcoming to all these new people, which metalheads in general are pretty welcoming usually. There's also bad people too, but that's any community. So except our Discord community, which you should go join, only nice people there. So go check that
and
out. Link in the description.
Wolfie Soupy.
Yes. Yes, and a very disappointed KDR now who knows we're never going to talk about Linkin Park again.
Yes.
They who shall not be named. But anyway, Poppy or Birthday Massacre, Lights, and who else did we? Garbage. We talked about band from the '90s, a lot of grunge, but also lots of cool electronic stuff. So check them out if that sounds interesting. And was there anything else we talked about?
Bad Omens, I suppose.
Bad Omens, yeah, and she featured on one of their songs called "Van" earlier this year, and she was the only vocalist, so it basically sounded like
this.
some of this. And I would not be surprised if they helped with some of the production of this, or they helped her with some techniques and stuff, or her band, because it definitely sounds as good.
Just a fresh influence.
Yeah.
Like it's
and to both of us, Bad Omens is considered sort of like the height of what modern metal can be right now, in a very interesting way, with phenomenal production. And this reached that level, I believe. Maybe not quite there, I don't think, because Bad Omens is such a special thing. And I'm very much looking forward to their next album, which I think comes out next year. Their full album from them.
Boy.
Be very special.
That'll be a big day.
So those are some of the influences we were mentioning, if you want to check any of those out. Birthday Massacre was my favorite band for over 10 years. And then I kind of have other things from other things, but they're from Canada. So please, someone check them out. We talked about them a lot here, and I'm really
I loved
happy.
all this from a guy who was talked out.
Well, I thought of something else that should be mentioned. You know, we were talking about a lot of stuff that people might not have any reference for, and so we probably should.
And we haven't really ever done this before, where it's like, here's all the bands that we mentioned during this, and here's what they are. Like, that's a nice little wrap up too. But
yeah,
just
for sure.
I thought was funny.
So yeah, okay. Are you feeling pretty good about this?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
this is going to be the top 3, probably. I mean, I'm. Obviously in a top 3 for sure, but yeah, just for both of us, it's going to be way up there, and I look forward to seeing.
And this might be the only album that we both have on our list this year.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think any of my other ones that are my ones I'm really looking forward to discussing and stuff, my top ones, I don't think you even know who those bands are.
The coolest thing about that Bad Omens album, in terms of this thing that we do here, is that we both came across it organically.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the fact that there were so many artists on there that we enjoyed too from that. I was listening to something the other day, and it was featuring an artist or something, and I clicked on it, and I was like, what is this? That name rings a bell. And I clicked on it, and it was some electronic music, and I clicked on it, and I scrolled down, and it said also features on, and it was they were one of the artists from the Bad Omens album. Like one of the electronic artists that they just featured on one of their songs. I don't think it was a vocalist or anything. And I was like, oh, that's really awesome. That's a connection that I didn't expect. Like, I don't think, maybe that's why it was recommended to me. I don't know, but it was just on Spotify recommended to me. And I thought the song was pretty cool, but it wasn't a full album, so I just threw it away in the trash. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully this video can have the music in it. If not, I may cut up a couple chunks, because I think our reaction from Crystallized all the way through the centers falling out is like peak reaction from us, I feel. Especially, I was in just like utter shock. Those 4 songs, just like unbelievable to me what I was hearing. And so that would probably need to be cut out if nothing else. And I think maybe we could have 4 songs, but I don't know if all 15. The last Poppy album we did had Trouble. Also, I was going to say, Chris, I noticed that when we were playing this, that it says on the bottom there, 2024 Sumerian Records. I did not know she was on Sumerian, but Sumerian Records owns Fueled by Ramen, I think, which is the album that the record label Lights is on. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility that someday
Poppy and Lights.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they could do that. Someday, they might be too similar, honestly, to feature together. I think that might be kind of weird, unless they did a song that was a metal electronic song and she could do the electronic parts and she did the metal stuff, but I don't know.
That's true, because it's like, what could one bring to the table that the other one can't do themselves, you know?
Right. Or would you even, I mean, I literally think that it might be hard to tell who's singing.
Right. Like if Poppy's going to she'll do a metal song and then have Lights as an artist, but why? Because then she can just do the same vocals and sound the same.
Exactly. So anyway, okay, thank you everybody for watching. I really hope we can add the music in this video. If not, I apologize profusely. No one will probably watch it at that point, but I think this album's getting some traction, and I'm really glad to see 8 million plays. I really am glad to see all of the hype that this album's been getting. And so I just hope Poppy keeps going up and up and up from here. We've talked about that, like strap a rocket to her and shoot her to the moon. Everyone should really appreciate her and what she's doing for music. In the similar vein to Bad Omens, where we talk about them doing important things for music, showing that you can have non-metal songs on a metal album and still be just as good and heavy and wide and big as songs that are balls to the wall metal songs.
Yep, and now you got a bunch of metal songs on a non-metal album by a non-metal artist.
Yep, exactly. Love it. All right, everybody, thank you much for watching, and we will see you all for our top 12 albums of the year in next probably month or so.
Yep.
Next time. Or something like that.